The moment I saw my own face on that video, I knew my life was about to split in two. It wasn't the kind of video you expect to receive from a stranger, no birthday wishes, no funny memes, just a shaky, secret recording that would change everything I thought I knew about my family. I watched myself walk into my parents' kitchen, smiling, arms full of groceries, completely unaware that just minutes later, the people I loved most would be laughing at me behind my back. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back to the beginning, to the week before my birthday, when I still believed that family meant something unbreakable. Before I go any further, please like and subscribe the channel, and also tell me in the comments from where you watch this video. Your support means everything, and I love hearing your stories too. Now, come back to the story. I'd spent weeks planning my birthday. It wasn't a milestone year, but after everything we'd been through, job changes, health scares, the world turning upside down, I wanted a weekend where we could just be together. I rented a cozy lake house, sent out invitations, and even made a playlist of everyone's favorite songs. My parents replied with a thumbs up. My sister sent a voice note about how she couldn't wait. My brother, as usual, didn't respond, but I knew he'd show up if there was food. 3 days before the party, I was packing when my phone buzzed. The message was from an unknown number. No words, just a video file. I hesitated, thumb hovering over the play button. For a second, I wondered if it was spam or some kind of prank. But curiosity won. I pressed play. The video was filmed through a crack in a door. I recognized the kitchen immediately, my parents' house, the yellow tile backsplash, the chipped mug my dad refused to throw away. My family was gathered around the table. My mother was laughing, her voice sharp. My sister rolled her eyes. My brother mimicked my laugh, exaggerated and cruel. They were talking about me. She's so desperate for attention, my mother said, waving her hand. Every year she acts like it's a national holiday. My sister snorted. She probably expects us to bring gifts. Like we're made of money. My brother chimed in. I'll go if there's steak. Otherwise, I'm busy. They all laughed. My father, usually the quiet one, said, let her have her little party. Maybe she'll finally get over herself. The video ended. My hands were shaking. I watched it again, hoping I'd misunderstood, that there was some context I was missing, but the words were clear. The laughter was real. The people I loved most had been mocking me behind my back. I sat on the edge of my bed, the suitcase half-packed, my heart pounding. I wanted to scream, to cry, to call them and demand an explanation, but I didn't. I just sat there numb, replaying the video in my mind. I spent the next hour staring at my phone, waiting for another message, another video, something to tell me it was all a mistake, but nothing came. Just silence. I thought about calling my best friend, but what would I even say? That my family hated me? That everything I'd believed about us was a lie? I couldn't bring myself to say the words out loud. Instead, I watched the video again. And again. Each time, the pain got sharper, the betrayal deeper. I thought about all the times. I'd gone out of my way for them, driving hours to visit, sending gifts for every birthday, covering for my brother when he forgot Mother's Day, listening to my sister's endless complaints about her job. I'd always told myself that family meant showing up, even when it was hard. But what did it mean if they never showed up for me? I didn't sleep that night. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying every conversation, every moment I'd tried to make them happy. I wondered how long they'd felt this way. Had they always laughed at me behind my back? Had every family dinner been a performance? Every hug a lie? By morning, I'd made a decision. I wasn't going to beg for their love. I wasn't going to pretend everything was fine. I was done. I canceled the party. I sent a group text, short, simple, no explanation. Change of plans. The party is off. Sorry for the inconvenience. My mother replied with a single question mark. My sister sent a string of annoyed emojis. My brother didn't reply at all. I stared at the messages, feeling a strange sense of relief. For the first time, I wasn't trying to fix things. I wasn't trying to make everyone happy. I was just done. But I wasn't finished yet. I changed the locks on my apartment. I canceled the grocery delivery to the lake house. I booked a last-minute flight to a city I'd never visited just to get away. I needed space, distance, a chance to breathe. As I packed my bag, my phone buzzed again. Another message from the unknown number. This time it was a longer video. I hesitated, then pressed play. The footage was clearer this time. My family was still in the kitchen, but now they were talking about the party. My mother said, "She'll probably cry if we don't show up. She's always been so sensitive." My sister laughed. "Maybe she'll finally get the hint." My father shrugged. "Let her be. She'll come crawling back. She always does." The video ended. I felt something inside me break. I wasn't going back. Not this time. I left my apartment before sunrise. The city still wrapped in a blue hush, the world not yet awake to what I was about to do. My suitcase felt heavier than it should have, as if it carried not just clothes but every disappointment, every memory I'd tried to protect. I didn't look back. I locked the door, slid the new key into my pocket, and walked away. At the airport, I kept my head down, moving through the crowds like a ghost. I didn't answer my phone, didn't check my messages. I just wanted to disappear, to become someone else for a while. Someone who didn't care so much. Someone who didn't hurt so easily. On the plane, I stared out the window, watching the clouds drift by. I thought about all the birthdays I'd spent trying to make everyone happy. The year I baked my own cake because my mother forgot. The year my sister brought her new boyfriend and spent the whole night complaining about the food. The year my brother showed up late, already drunk, and left before dessert. I'd always told myself it didn't matter, that what counted was being together. But now I wondered if I'd just been lying to myself. When I landed, I turned my phone back on. Dozens of missed calls, texts, voicemails. My mother, "Where are you?" My sister, "Are you serious right now?" My brother, "Nothing as usual." I deleted them all without reading. I checked into a small hotel by the water, the kind of place where no one asked questions. I drew the curtains, crawled into bed, and let myself cry for the first time. Not the quiet, careful tears I'd learned to hide, but the kind that shake your whole body, that leave you empty and raw. The next morning, I woke to another message from the unknown number. This time, it was just a single line. "They're coming." Attached was a short video. My family, standing outside my apartment building, bags in hand, looking confused and annoyed. My mother tried the door, rattling the handle. My sister peered through the window. My brother kicked at the step, muttering something I couldn't hear. I watched them on my phone, safe and far away, and felt nothing. No guilt, no longing, just a cold clarity. They'd come for the party, for the food, for the comfort of knowing I'd always be there. But I wasn't there anymore. I spent the day walking the unfamiliar city, letting the noise and color wash over me. I ate breakfast at a cafe by the harbor, watched boats drift in and out, listened to strangers laugh and argue and live their lives. For the first time in years, I felt invisible, and it was a relief. That afternoon, my phone buzzed again. This time it was my mother. "We're here." "Where are you?" "The door won't open." I didn't reply. I turned off my phone and let the silence settle. I wandered through art galleries, lost myself in paintings and sculptures, let my mind drift. I thought about the person I'd been, always trying, always hoping, always waiting for someone else to make me feel loved. I wondered who I could become if I stopped waiting. That night, I sat by the window watching the city lights flicker on. I thought about sending my family a message, explaining everything, telling them how much they'd hurt me, but I knew it wouldn't matter. They'd deny it, make excuses, tell me I was overreacting. They always did. Instead, I opened my laptop and watched the videos again. This time I didn't cry. I just watched, letting the truth sink in. I saw the way my mother's mouth twisted when she talked about me, the way my sister rolled her eyes, the way my father shrugged off my feelings. I saw it all, and I finally believed it. The next morning, I called a locksmith and had the locks on my apartment changed again. Just to be sure, I sent the new key to a friend I trusted. Someone who'd never laughed at me, never made me feel small. My phone buzzed with more messages. My mother, "We're hungry." "Where are you?" My sister, "This isn't funny." My brother, "Open the door." I ignored them all. That afternoon, I received one last message from the unknown number. "Do you want them to see the full video?" Attached was a longer file. I hesitated, then downloaded it. This time, the footage was from a different angle. My family was still in the kitchen, but now they were talking about things I'd never heard before. My mother complained about the money she'd spent on me as a child. My sister joked about borrowing my clothes and never returning them. My brother bragged about using my credit card without asking. They laughed about my dreams, my fears, my hopes. They mocked the way I talked, the way I dressed, the way I tried so hard to make them happy. I watched the whole thing, my face burning with shame and anger. When it ended, I sat in silence, the weight of it all pressing down on me. That evening, I sent the full video to my family group chat. No message, no explanation. Just the truth, raw and unedited. I turned off my phone, packed my bag, and booked another flight. This time to somewhere even farther away. I didn't know when I'd come back or if I ever would. All I knew was that I was done letting other people decide my worth. As I left the hotel, I felt lighter. Not happy, not yet, but free. Free from the need to be loved by people who didn't know how. Free from the hope that things would ever change. Free to start over, on my own terms. The airport was crowded, but I moved through it like a shadow, unnoticed and untouched. I kept my phone off, my head down, my heart strangely calm. I didn't know what I was running toward, only what I was running from. I boarded the plane, found my seat by the window, and watched the city shrink beneath me as we took off. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel guilty for leaving. I felt like I was finally choosing myself. Somewhere over the clouds, I turned my phone back on. Dozens of messages flooded in, but I ignored them. I scrolled through the photos I'd taken in the last 2 days. Sunrises, city streets, strangers' smiles. Proof that I could exist outside the orbit of my family. That I could build a life that was mine alone. When I landed, I checked into a small guest house by the sea. The owner greeted me with a warm smile and a cup of tea, no questions asked. I unpacked my bag, hung my clothes in the tiny closet, and sat by the window, listening to the waves crash against the shore. The world felt bigger than it ever had before. That evening, I turned my phone on one last time. The group chat was chaos, my mother demanding answers, my sister furious, my brother silent. My father sent a single message. "Why would you do this to us?" I stared at the screen, the irony almost laughable. Why would I do this to them? As if I'd been the one mocking, the one laughing, the one breaking hearts. I typed a reply, then deleted it. There was nothing left to say. The video spoke for itself. The next morning, I woke to a message from my mother. "We're leaving. I hope you're happy." My sister sent a string of angry texts, blaming me for ruining the family. My brother, for the first time, sent a single word. "Sorry." I stared at his message, wondering if he meant it, if he even understood what he was apologizing for. I spent the next few days exploring the town, letting myself get lost in winding streets and crowded markets. I ate breakfast at a cafe overlooking the water, read books in the park, watched the sunset from the pier. I let myself feel everything, the grief, the anger, the relief. I let it all wash over me, trusting that it would pass. One afternoon, as I walked along the beach, my phone buzzed with a new message. This time, it was from the unknown number. "You did the right thing," it read. "Sometimes the truth is the only gift you can give yourself." I never found out who sent the videos. Maybe it was a friend, maybe a neighbor, maybe a stranger who saw more than I realized. It didn't matter. What mattered was that I finally saw my family for who they were, not the people I wished they'd be, but the people they'd always been. I realized then that family isn't just about blood or shared history. It's about respect, about kindness, about showing up for each other when it matters. I'd spent my whole life trying to earn love from people who didn't know how to give it. Now I was learning to give that love to myself. On my birthday, I bought myself a small cake from a bakery in town. I sat by the window, watching the waves, and lit a single candle. I made a wish, not for my family to change, not for things to go back to the way they were, but for the courage to keep moving forward. I blew out the candle, feeling lighter than I had in years. That night, I called my best friend. I told her everything: the videos, the party, the flight, the freedom. She listened without judgment, her voice warm and steady. "I'm proud of you," she said. "You deserve better. You always have." As I drifted off to sleep, I thought about the future. I didn't know where I'd go next or what I'd do, but I knew one thing for sure. I would never again settle for less than I deserved. I would never again let anyone make me feel small. And if my family ever wondered why I left, why I stopped answering their calls, why I chose distance over disappointment, I'd let the truth speak for itself. Sometimes the hardest thing you can do is walk away, but sometimes it's the only way to save yourself.